I have a motion on item 15, please?
Move for approval.
Second.
And we had some discussion in closed session. Is there any further discussion in open session? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And can I have a motion to adjourn administration and finance?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you, everyone. We're adjourned.
Safety and development will come to order. We have two items. Item 18, which is an ordinance to repeal and recreate the city's zoning code. You should have all received a copy of the proposal, both emailed and at your desk tonight. Steve, do you have any comments on it?
Yeah, real simple. If you have any comments, feel free to call or email us. The email that we'd prefer you send it to would be planning@westdallaswi.gov. And then, secondly, we'd like to, after you've had a chance to review it, we'd like to have a special safety and development meeting. We'd invite the whole council with the chairman's permission, and just to have a conversation to see what you think, make any necessary changes, and discussion, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that will probably be in February?
I was thinking maybe February 8th or 9th, Tuesday or Wednesday night, if that works out for everyone, or if not, we can pick another time.
Good.
Okay, thank you.
We'll plan on
Yep.
that.
Mr.
Three
Chair,
both days.
I'd just like to compliment them on this, and I also appreciate the idea that we have a discussion on this, because there are some policy changes here.
Yeah.
There are policy changes that I'm in favor of, but I just want everybody to be aware of it, like the ADUs and the parking maximum versus the current parking minimum for, like, those are two things that I'm glad we're moving towards, but I want everybody to understand what we're doing. So,
Yeah, there are definite changes in there, so please look it over and, challenge anything that you don't think is to your liking.
Yeah.
Because it all can be changed.
Right.
And Mr. Chair, regarding our special meeting, we have a Community Development Authority meeting on February 8th.
Okay,
So I think
the
that would
9th?
push us more
to
toward
the 9th, yeah, sure.
Unless, yeah.
unless CDA is postponed or whatever. You
Patrick.
gotta talk to your guy who you work
Yeah.
with.
Yeah, Patrick said maybe not, but I mean, we won't rule it out. We'll let Patrick speak on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Either way is fine.
yeah, okay, thank you.
And then item 19 is discussion regarding the possession and use of fireworks in the city. You wanted to have a brief statement?
Sure. I suppose,
Yeah, why don't you come
Well,
on
that
over
was-
so we
yeah,
can
you
make sure we
asked,
get you on the
so-
microphone?
Matthew, if you want
Yeah.
to come on over, either way.
Is a microphone over there for you?
This one okay?
Yep. Sure.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Where's the speakers?
Oh, it goes on TV.
We're on TV.
Oh, okay. Should I go ahead?
Yep.
Okay.
Why don't you state your name and address, I guess, so everybody,
Sure. Matthew Pietz, Pietz. The address is 2457 South 63rd Street.
thank you.
I appreciate the opportunity, as I did in December, and I'm grateful that I was able to have this issue put on the agenda, for tonight regarding the timing of any dealing with it by the Common Council. Hopefully, if it goes to that point, the main part that I want to emphasize is that I think it's very important that the residents of our good city be aware and have that awareness through the efforts of the communication efforts of the city to know that the pet owners, especially the pet owners that have pets that that are affected by these fireworks, to the long duration that they occur, that they become aware that there is a way for them to get remedy, that there's a different situation set up for these people who want to do it, and so that it becomes a more manageable observance and celebration of that great day. And so that's my main effort, because I want everybody to celebrate it. You know, it's great to have fireworks, but makes more sense to have it appropriately, and the residents that don't want to do it appropriately, they need to be told and shown that yes, you can still do it, but this is how we want you to do it. And if you don't do it this way, and you've had ample, time to be told this, that there's going to be consequences of that. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Decker?
so Mr. Pete submitted something in writing that I summarized earlier. And one of the ideas that was presented was this concept of issuing some sort of localized permit that essentially allowed people, if they want to shoot fireworks off, they can do so in a certain area at a certain time, but otherwise couldn't do so. And the idea would be to hopefully incentivize people into finding a way to celebrate the 4th in a more controlled manner than simply firing off fireworks at random throughout the city and the police chasing people around and not getting anywhere because there's not much evidence of it. So that was the idea that was thrown out there. I think Mr. Pete suggested using city parks as a gathering spot for it. This is an opportunity for the council to discuss that idea, and if there's interest in moving forward with it, another item we put in the agenda later on to take any type of action that the council wants. But if there's any comments from the committee, that would be a good time.
I guess
Mis-
my question would be, Gail, can we even legalize the use of fireworks by individuals in parks or,
Technically, yes. There is a way under section 167 or chapter 167 to get local permits issued by the mayor. I think the fire chief can also issue them. It's kind of a weirdly written law, but it does allow permits to be issued to use fireworks in certain locations at certain times. And
If-
so,
if we do that, are we assuming
Liability when someone blows their hand off?
responsibility for whether these persons are qualified to be handling fireworks or not?
yes,
So we're responsible then.
we set up the permit. There's a part that says you take on liability as the permit holder. So whoever the permit holder would be the one who takes on liability. So it could be a private party who decides they want to do it, but then they're taking on that liability of anyone who shoots fireworks off under that permit.
I, for one, don't want us to be in a position of being liable for some misuse of fireworks or somebody blows their hand off or something.
Agreed.
I don't want to put the taxpayers in that position.
Mr. Chair,
Alderperson Keen?
would there be a fee for the license or permit?
There can be, yes. A fee is an option.
If we did it, I would propose no fee because nobody's going to pay to do it. They're just going to keep blowing them off in their alley for free. And I really don't know, to be very honest, the people that are blowing off fireworks now, that this is really going to deter them from what they're already doing. It's already, you shouldn't be doing it, and they're blowing it off in their alley because they're having a barbecue. I just don't see them getting in their car, driving to a park, blowing off their fireworks, going back to their backyard barbecue. I just don't see it happening. While I think it's a good concept, and there might be a few that are having parties at the park that would participate in it, I truly think it would actually add more fireworks being blown off, where there might be some people in the parks not blowing them off now because they are following the rules. They're just enjoying their barbecue. Where now they're going, hey, I can have my barbecue and blow off fireworks. And I really think it's just going to add to more people blowing off fireworks, because the ones doing it in their alleys aren't going to stop because we have this. It's against the law now. They don't care. They're going to continue to.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
It sounds like a few assumptions that you're making about what would happen in the city park. And as I drafted and wrote this letter, I put a lot of thought into this, because I found out that I have a neighbor up the block that's handicapped. She had a stroke, and I was able to meet her dog. It's a cute dog. It's a better of a dog, but I'm married. My wife's handicapped, and I got two border collies that just they bark at everything. And at one point, our house shook. And so there, I understand what you're saying, ma'am, but there needs to be put a thought of how to do this, and there can be, because we have time. I'm going to be joining the East Alice Neighborhood Association, and I'm going to be working with them on that. And I think that if we get the associations, all the associations in the city involved in this, then we can do a coordinated effort to make sure that your concerns that you express now would be addressed and that there wouldn't be an issue.
Right, but I'm a dog owner also. There was a better fireworks show in the alley behind my house than there was at State Fair Park.
Same thing with me.
My dogs do not like it. One stayed under the bed the whole entire time. The other one stayed in the bathroom. I understand that there's an issue with it. You call the cops, they don't show up. I get the resources are thin. It's not, unfortunately, a priority when there's other items going on in the city on 4th of July, accidents, domestic disturbance, things like that. I just don't think this is going to solve the issue. Now, could there be further conversation that we get to a point? Yes, but I don't think this is it. And I really do believe it is an assumption that it's only gonna cause more people to light off fireworks in the park on top of those who are already gonna do it and continue to do it. So I don't think this is going to have the folks that are already illegally breaking the law and lighting off fireworks, getting them to stop and say, well, now that I can do it in the park, I won't do it here. I don't think it's going to help that scenario. I'm not saying we're not open to figuring something else out, but I don't personally think this is it.
Yeah,
Mr. Chair?
I would agree, Alderwoman Keene, to the extent that if we can find a solution that doesn't require us to permit or to
Assume
allow this.
potential liability.
Exactly. I look at it as saying this is an educational thing. You've got to let people know that they are bothering dogs. I think a lot of people don't even realize it. They don't have a dog or a pet, and they're bothering their neighbors. I mean, I have the same problem by me. I've got 3 or 4 neighbors that blow them off like crazy, and it's not only on the 4th of July. I get it on Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve as well. So, yeah, we do have to address it. It's something that's a concern. There's no question about it.
Mr. Chairman, I hear everything you say, ma'am. The gist of what I'm getting is I hope that I'm not hearing, let's just live with it. I hope I'm not
No, you
hearing that.
didn't. I think I said it very clearly that it's a problem and we should find a solution. This, to me, is not the solution. Do I address it's a problem? 100%. Did I say we should just live with it and let the dogs be scared? Nope. I said this is not the solution. Would I like to find one? Yes. Do I think we can look further into it? Yes. This, for me personally, is not it.
Well, I believe that in some fashion it can be reached to that point.
Mr. Chair, I
Alderman
was going to
Tenori.
ask City Attorney or for you, are there any other communities that have a similar permitting license for fireworks, and what results have that?
So by state law, that's where the authority to issue permits comes from. And I'm sure that many communities have their mayors and village board presidents and town board presidents issuing permits to people under whatever conditions they want to issue them. So I'm sure it happens with regularity, but I don't know of any specific ones like this where there's a location selected for anyone to come and shoot off fireworks. Just for what it's worth for the discussion, fireworks are something that people generally buy. They're not made at home. And so normally a way you'd address an issue like this is you would restrict the supply. The state, though, has a whole setup of how fireworks can be sold and to whom they can be sold. And so in reality, this is probably something the state would have to do to address the issue of how easy it is to sell fireworks. Like right now, I don't know if Minnesota changed now, but back when I lived in Minnesota, fireworks were illegal. And it was very unusual to see a lot of firework activity in Minnesota. It means someone traveled to Wisconsin to get fireworks. So especially where I live in the middle of the state, it just wasn't that much of an issue. And that was because supply was so restricted there.
Right, now
So-
you can drive to Racine and buy a truckload.
Yeah.
So the main issue I would say is if you want to address this type of issue, the first step would be, and the simplest step and the most direct one would be to restrict supply and availability in the state. But that's a
So-
state matter.
So perhaps some type of action ultimately by the council requesting that the state provide relief under state law to that?
That would be in order, yeah. If this body was interested in communicating something to the state to suggest changes to the law that you think would reduce the issue, that would be something the council could do.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. Is it,
Mr. Chair?
Alderman Weigel?
A couple things on the permitting. I have a family member who's in the firework, or had been in the fireworks business, and you're right, municipalities do issue a permit. There's actually fireworks sales where they demonstrate the fireworks being blown off for retailers. But that permit, as you said, whoever gets that permit posts a bond and buys insurance to cover the granting municipality, which is, it's a business doing this, so it's a cost, it's part of their business. So you're not going to see individuals coming and buying an insurance policy and adding the city as a named or additional insured on it in this case, because the real risk to the city is if we issue permits that we could see some sort of damages involved. I think one thing we can do is work on, and I think we've talked about this in the past, and I think I'd actually seen something, the education side of it. You look at the, engineering, enhancement, enforcement, education. If we run something, especially in the weeks leading up to the 4th of July, through our social media, and it's not just pets, it's also people too, that
Sure.
there's some people that don't deal with loud noise as well, whether it's PTSD or whatever. So, and I remember having this conversation. I got to believe that somewhere someone's already produced PSAs that we can just run or share through our social media. Because honestly, I think there's some people who blow them off and don't know what an issue it is for people. And you're right. It'd be good that we can do something, but there's only so much that we can do.
Right.
So, but I think education could be an important part of this. So.
Okay.
Is there any desire to have the attorney's office craft a resolution, or
Well, we don't need a
communication to the state?
Well, resolution of the state, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. But I think internally, we can just direct staff to work on
Right,
an
and we can work
education
on
program.
the
Maybe
education thing.
Start it,
Right.
is Memorial Day a bad 4th of July, or fireworks day? No.
No, but
I
I
think
don't
it's,
thi-
I think it's July 4th and New Year's Eve.
I don't
July
think it would
4th
hurt
mostly.
on
New Year's Eve.
Yeah, we can start
Memorial.
running it and then ramp it up,
And then,
Yeah.
ramp it up.
start Memorial.
Yep.
To Tom's point, it doesn't always have to be 4th of July.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just summer.
Yeah.
More so than winter, but I think we start at Memorial.
I think that's when all the stores open up.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and there's always the week of 4th of July, people are blowing off ahead of time and after.
Mhm. Depending on
Yeah,
when
the
their
week.
party is.
Exactly.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
extension of what the Alderman had said about the permitting, I think that this is where the city could be creative and working and developing a structure, a written structure of what the permit would do and what it wouldn't do, and how and in what manner it would be enforced. The city can work on that through the city attorney's office.
That's already established in state law, what
Yeah.
what can be done, but there could be additional ordinances imposed if the council is interested. It still comes down to enforcement, though. It's already illegal.
Is there any other comments or questions on this item?
Nope, motion to adjourn.
Is there a
Second.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We are adjourned.
Matthew, thank you for coming in.
Yes, thank you.
We don't often have folks.